Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're looking at 2.9, lining up quadratics. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this first section, multiply the following binomials using the given two-way table to assist you. So here's an example. We've got the 2x plus 3 times 5x minus 7, the 5x, the 2x plus 3. We multiply our x values here. And it's just a way to kind of organize this. It's some people it makes more sense for, others it doesn't. It's basically using FOIL but organizing it in the box to help you. But we are going to be finding our our quadratic equation when we do these. So the first one we're going to look at is number 1. So we have 3x minus 4 and 7x minus 5. So this is the 7x minus 5. This is our 3x and our minus 4. So 7x times 3x is going to give us 21x squared. 7x times negative 4 is going to give us negative 28. Negative 5 times 3x is going to give us a negative 15x. And negative 5 times negative 4 will give us a positive 20. So we combine these two. So negative 15x and negative 28, oops, I forgot the x. X is going to give us negative 43. So our answer here is 21x squared minus 43x plus 20. So we're just multiplying the binomials together to get our quadratic equation. We're using the boxes to help us organize and multiply this out. So I'm also going to do number 7 with you. So this is 4x plus 5 quantity squared. That just means that this is 4x plus 5 and this side is 4x plus 5. So 4x times 4x is going to give us 16x squared. 4x times 5 is going to give us 20x. 5 times 4x is going to give us 20x. And 5 times 5 is going to give us 25. We combine our middle terms. 20x plus 20x is 40x. So this is 16x squared plus 40x plus 25. Okay? So that's what you guys are doing for 1 through 9. All right, the next section, factored form of a quadratic function. Given the factored form of a quadratic function, identify the vertex, intercepts, and vertical stretch of the parabola. So what we're looking at here is finding the different parts based on the factored form. So the factored form is where we have the x minus something times the x plus something. So we have those two binomials being multiplied together. Now, in factored form, it's easiest to find what our x-intercepts are. So our x-intercepts are just the opposites of these. If we set each of these binomials equal to 0, x minus 2 equals 0. So x equals 2. So we've got an intercept of 2, 0. And same thing over here. X plus 6 equals 0. We subtract 6, so we end up with negative 6, 0. So there are two x-intercepts. Now, the stretch is probably the easiest thing to find in all of these. It's whatever the number is in front of our equation. So in this case, it's 4. In the next one, it'd be negative 3. In the next one, there's nothing there, but that just means it's a 1, not a 0. If you put a 0, it cancels everything out. So it is not a 0, it's a 1. Now, the vertex and the y-intercept are a little harder to take and find. The y-intercept is going to be when we multiply our stretch value times our two constants. So negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. Negative 12 times 4 is 48. So we end up with 0, negative 48. So there's our y-intercept. Now, for our vertex, our vertex is definitely more complicated. There's different ways we could take and do this. One is to rewrite the equation into vertex form to find the vertex. The other is to use our x-intercepts to help us. So we have an x-intercept of -6, and we have an x-intercept of 2. So if we add these two together, ignoring the negative, we'd get 8. 8 divided by 2 is 2 plus 6 equals 8. Divided by 2, because we want the middle, is 4. So if we add 4 to -6, so -6 plus 4 equals -2. -2 is the exact middle between those two, which means that's the x-coordinate of our vertex. So now to find the y-coordinate of our vertex, we're going to plug -2 into these equations. So I'm going to go up here so I have some space. We're going to have 4 times -2 minus 2 times -2 plus 6. So 4 times -2 minus 2 is going to give us a -4. And then -2 plus 6 is going to give us a +4. And 4 times -4 is -16 times 4 is -64. So our vertex is at the point -2, -64. So that's using the x-intercepts is how we can take and find our vertex. It's a little bit easier than having to convert it to vertex form, okay? All right, so that's what you guys are doing for 12 through 19. 12 through 19, that's what you're doing. So you're going from factored form to finding those values. Now here, we're using vertex form, and we're going to find our values. So for this, it makes it a little easier. Vertex, definitely the easiest. We've got our -2, -4. Remember, your x value is always going to have the opposite sign that it does inside. So this one's a -2, -4. This one over here would be 1, -8. So the x value, you flip the sign on. The y value, it'll stay as given. The stretch, same as before, it's the number out front. So this one would be 1, this one would be -3, this one would be 2. Now, finding our x-intercepts and y-intercept. So to find our x-intercepts, we need to take and set this equal to 0. So y equals 0. And we need to take and have it factored out. So we know, so we've got 0 equals x plus 2 and x plus 2 minus 4. So for each of these, we can take, and what we need to take and do is get this into quadratic and then solve and FOIL this. So x times x is going to give us x squared. X times 2 will give us 2x. 2 times x will give us 2x. And 2 times 2 will give us 4 minus 4. Combine like terms. So we have x squared plus 4x. And then we have this here, +4 minus 4. So that's just 0. So there it is, factored. So this equals 0. Now, what do x squared and 4x have in common? They both have an x. So we have 0 equals x times x plus 4. So if we set x equal to 0, we get 0. So there's one of our x-intercepts is 0, 0. Our other x-intercept, if we set x plus 4 equal to 0, we'd subtract 4, and we'd end up with -4, 0. So those are our two x-intercepts, and yes, that's supposed to be a 0. I know it doesn't look like one. Now, our y-intercept we actually found in solving for our x-intercepts. It's the c value. Do we have a c value here? No, we don't. So our y-intercept is at 0, 0. So that's our y-intercept. So that's how you'll take and find the y-intercept as well. So it's just taking and you're going to expand this out, multiply everything through, do your FOIL, and then you'll have to factor it to find your x-intercepts. Your y-intercept will be your c value every time. Okay? All right, for 26. What you're going to take and do is you're going to show that these two sides of the equation are the exact same thing. So we're going to do C together. So x times x will give us x squared. X times 7 will give us 7x. 5 times x will give us 5x. And 5 times 7 will give us 35. Equals. Now, x plus 6 squared is the same thing as x plus 6 times x plus 6. So x times x is x squared. X times 6 is plus 6x. 6 times x is plus 6x. And then 6 times 6 is 36 minus 1. Now, we need to combine these. So 7 plus 5x, so 7x plus 5x, is going to give us a 12x plus 35 equals x squared. Now, 6x plus 6x is also going to give us a plus 12x. And then 36 minus 1 will give us a plus 35. Do they equal each other? Yes, they do. So it works out that they are equivalent to each other. Okay? So that's what you guys are going to be doing for A and B, is you're going to be expanding those out to show that either side of the equal sign is the same. So your keyword for this lesson is quadratic. Quadratic. So a lot of this lesson is all about finding the different parts of those quadratic equations, finding the vertex, the x-intercepts, y-intercepts, and the stretch. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, your keyword is quadratic. Have a great day.